Okay, so we have done a lot of trials to achieve this our programming model with Fiori using the BOPF transactional applications. So the thing what we have done was a bit different. So I thought of it's completely my way of doing it. So that led us to end up in this situation. Whereas we all sorry, we have created all our CDS views using the view entities, whereas this view entity has been released recently. That means whenever the ABAP programming model for Fiori was specifically built and framed only for defined views. So as we did create all our underlying basic composite and consumption or transactional CDS views with the defined view entity, whereas we call them as CDS entities or HANA entities. That is caused all our discrepancies. So that was the reason we were not able to achieve the transactional behavior functionality on this on our app. So now I spent some time and I had recreated all the CDS views, and let me go ahead with all the CDS views that I created. It's a pretty same that we did. And you see all the CDS views that I created or with the name. If I put the view names in between V here. Okay, so this V, if it is a transactional view, there will be T and then V, which is a view. It's a DDIC dictionary based view. I mean to say that. Okay, TV. And I have created the view for transactional view for header, and still I'm using the underlying table T header, which is dealt with the UUID GUID approach, as we thought of building the draft capability as well. So here, if you see the draft persistence table as well, we have created, we have mentioned here. So we haven't created anything physically, but instead we just given the draft persistence table and the framework generated in the backend automatically by the SADL framework. And same thing for ZTH TV items. And in this items, again, same, we have write draft persistence. And also the table, we don't have the basic CDS view created for this one. It says straight away the transactional view has been created straight on the database table itself. And the annotations point of view, the navigation annotations point of view. So we have the annotations, object model dot association dot type, to composition root and to composition parent from items, and the vice versa from header. So it's going to be the to composition child. And I have mentioned some additional annotations on the header, whereas few of them are going to be the semantics, where the framework will automatically identifies these fields and does the mapping for us, whereas they are the system fields. So created at, created by, changed at, and changed by, they are all the system fields. So we need to specify them with the semantics annotations. And also these fields cannot be changed by the user. So object model dot read only, I just said true. So they should be read only always on the app. So creating CDS views at the levels of CDS views, we are all familiar doing till now. And these are all the object model annotations since past 3 days we are working with. Okay, and this is the place where we can see the generated or created object model for this transactional application. And these business object we will not be able to see on the consumption views. So let me go to the consumption views as well. So consumption views also having the same namings for this one. So CV header and CV items. And as we are using this define view here, so we know that there will be a equivalent ABAP DDIC based view as well. So, and this is the item, CV items, and whatever the annotations and the things we have tried on this, defaulting the values and etc. They're all left as it is, but I would like to remove this default value for now. Default value, we can keep it as it is if we would like to, but instead, yeah, that's fine. So, and these all consumption dot value help definition way of giving the value help and the consumption dot value help, then the association name, and these all the annotations we have already seen. We don't want to specify or go into individual annotations in this case. And if you see, we have published this as a OData from here itself, which is a CDS published OData service. And there is an association to items, which is again items consumption view, whereas it is delegating the transactional behavior to underlying transactional CDS view. Okay. So now we have, if you see here, the icon that we have the specific metadata extensions mentioned on this both header and items. Accordingly, the template, whatever we have used to generate the UI5 application, which is a list report, and that's going to adapt all these metadata extensions to show us the groups, field groups, and the collections, whatever we have maintained in our metadata extensions. So there is no change on this metadata extensions. So whatever we have created until now in our all the sessions, so they are as it is. I haven't made any change. The only change I made is I created these 2 layers of dictionary based DDIC ABAP CDS views. That's the only change I did. So, and by this we confirm that the ABAP programming model for Fiori works only on the DDIC based views. So if we try to use the define view entity and the custom entity and etc., or the projection, then that is they are the concepts. The RAP, ABAP RESTful application programming, will involve things, and the service definition and publishing the OData service is also quite different. Different in terms of ABAP RESTful application programming. So now, as we are looking at the ABAP programming model for Fiori based on this DDIC views. So let me go to the web IDE for now. So we know we already have published our application. Let me close this one. Is it running? Yes, it's running. It's not running. Let me restart it. So yep, it's running now. Let me reload the web IDE, log in. So this app I have just generated before we start our session, but I can remove it and I can generate the app again using our the latest CDS view that we have created. I'm just copying this and going here, and I'm just going to create, as the OData service is different, I can't use this one anymore, but instead I'm going to create a new project from template, and this is again going to be the list report, and I'll press OK. And I think someone waiting. Yeah. Trip planner. Okay, and let me T planner transactional. Let me name it TR. Transactional. Let me click on next, and let me pick my system, and also let me look for my service. Yes, the OData service is available here, and then click on next, and now choose let it load the annotations, which are the metadata extensions that we built on our CDSUs. It's just fetching all the metadata onto the web IDE. So we don't need to select them. They automatically comes and applies to our project. So if you see here, these are the entities that we are publishing from backend. And if you are fancy about displaying your entity set here, then there is an option available in the CDS itself. Whenever we publish our OData service, we have few other OData annotations available here. Okay, and in the OData, if you see here, entity set, in the entity set name, in the entity set, we can specify the entity set name here. So in this one, if you want this to be named as all trips, for example, we can do that, and this can be this can be activated, and this is going to be the same is going to be applicable wherever we are using this particular OData service. So now this has been activated, and now we can't get it being here, and we should go back. I think this will not fetch the information, I think. So we have to close this dialog, and we have to come back. Let's see if this goes fine. Then no, so it's not bringing us the latest metadata. Let me close this one, and again let me create the project. Transactional application, and go ahead and select the backend system. Here, just choose this one. So nope, still it's not bringing the information, but it'll definitely bring or name that entity set name here. If you look at the metadata available here, let's try going to the metadata here. Let me replace this with our service name. Metadata entity set name. Come on, it's not reflecting. I'm not sure for some reason, but this is the OData relevant annotation, which intact will update the entity set information there. So few things are not working, so it's not that we are doing something wrong. Okay, that's fine. So we'll proceed with our application creation. There are stucking somewhere for a whole session. Transactional application. Go ahead and pick up the system and then the service. Okay, so let me pick up my entity set here and the navigation, 2 items, whereas it's straight away it's gonna create I think the local annotations, whereas we will remove all the local annotations. We do not want the local annotations to take priority over our backend annotations. So let me run this one as web application. Okay, that's fine. Need to choose this sandbox. That's fine. Backend. Good. So if you see, we have got our application, the transactional application available here with the annotations that we have mentioned, and also we have seen all these filters and etc. So we don't have any data at the moment on this particular app because we have changed the backend tables to implement the transactional behavior. So right now we have the GUIDs created in header and item, both the tables. So if you go to the transactional view of header, and you can see here the business object created, and in the business object we have traversed almost all the major parts of it. So determinations, actions we have not been yet, and validations. So each one are going to be the same way of this, how they work. So if we want a set of validations needs to be triggered whenever we save our application, and then it's going to be a new validation creation here. and we just create a new validation, and it will automatically populates the class name here. So we can straight away go along with that class, and once we create it, we can just activate it. We will come back to that one. And if you see in the determinations, so we have seen a very less determinations created when we have generated the business object last time without a draft. But with the draft, if you see, there are more determinations created, whereas they are all uh, system point of view. So we will not be needing any of this, or we will not be working any of these determinations on this particularly. So if you see, everything is a standard class populated over here. And the custom class, whatever we see here, action and field control, and this is required if we want to make some field dynamically mandatory or editable or visible or something like that. So in that case, we will go and write in this determinations, whereas it is straight away says calculate properties. And if we want any additional data determinations on enter something, or when the user click on save button, then we will go ahead and implement our own determination here. And if you look at our app at the moment, so we see the delete and create button available here. And if you click on create, it's gonna open us the object page, this is not the object page that we have developed. But by this, we can understand that, okay, so there are some local annotations are overwritten on this one, because we know clearly that our annotations here, header, and they have specific field groups, and we have arranged everything here. And so that we can straight away go ahead into our project and look for the annotations, and we can remove the local annotations that system has generated. So okay, that's fine. So they say the descriptor is not opening for us, modeler, and we can straight away go into the code editor. And if you see anything between the schema, so schema annotation, and they all the local annotations generated by the template. So we'll straight away delete them and save this annotation modeler file, and we go ahead and refresh our application here. So let me reload the application. And let us see, come on. Let me close this one and relaunch the application. Okay. Maybe taking some time. Yes, it's taking some time. The system is running slow, it seems. Okay, so it has come back. And if you go ahead and try to create the trip request, and this is what the layout we have defined in our metadata extensions. So if you see, we have made the from country to country mandatory, and they're all coming from our there is that one, this is the header, and we have made them the from country and to country mandatory, if you see here. And so we have mentioned at object transactional view level itself, I mean the business object level itself. And if you want to do it, you can do it at the consumption view level as well. But whenever we do it on the consumption layer, it applies only onto the UI, but it doesn't pass this information back to the business object. So if you are implementing any changes or any automatic validations on your business object, then this will not trigger any automatic validation. So we will see how that automatic validations are going to happen. And let's say, okay, that's fine. And if you see this admin data, so this is what I was just telling you. And if you look at this transactional view and this semantic annotations, they are influencing to populate all this information over here. And so interestingly, if you see here, there is the trip items as well. And we have enabled the transactional behavior for trip items as well. So if you go and click on this one, and this time I think we will not be able to see anything because we have not written any annotations, any metadata extensions onto our items here. So let me go to the items metadata. Not this one, and instead it's not here. I'll load full content, and where is this one? Metadata CV items. So if you see, we have defined only the table sequence of the columns in the table. So line item is simply refers to the sequence of the columns in the table. So we have defined only the sequence of these columns, but we don't have any field groups and identification and etc. The identification annotation is the one where it helps us to populate the sequence of the fields on the object page. But if we have further segregation on the field group or facets, so again identification will take place in terms of arranging or defining their sequence within the field group. Okay, so now if you see, if you come back without saving it, and it will automatically be saving the information for us. And now all the information has been blank and empty row created, and even you can leave that one and you can go back. So once we deploy this application, it's gonna save that as a draft for us. Okay, so if you go ahead and create another one, it pops with this information, and let me say IN and to country ENL, for example. And if the user can leave that information and can come back, the system automatically saves that information back onto this screen. If you see the IN, okay, so we haven't deployed this application, but it should have its yeah. So if you see, there is a draft indicator has been identified on this particular one. So this is not yet into the active persistence yet. So that is the difference between these two tables. So until we save the information, it's not going to save into the active persistence table. And also this draft is specifically to the user that is pending with. So this draft is not going to be visible to others. And if they wanted to see these drafts and need to pick them up, then we need to use this draft sharing as public. Then someone else also can pick up your draft which you are working on. Okay, and again, this is depending upon the object sharing settings, the global extensibility setting that the organization will be doing. And sometimes they can be visible to the user as well based on that configuration as well. So now, okay, that's fine. And let me go ahead and put some annotations on our items metadata, the field groups, and let us try to arrange something here. So this job we already did for our header, and let me copy the same information onto here, and whereas it will be a bit easy, and current trip, or so the item is, the type name is going to be trip item, or leg we would say, and this one actual trips. And here I would say the title, trip item, I'll say trip item is going to be my title value here, and the description value is going to be, I have from country here, and I think I can leave that as it is, from country. And now here I'm going to define my field groups. So these field groups are going to be the major identifiers to define which field is going to be under which group. So let us come here first and decide the fields first, and trip ID and trip item ID, we don't want to consider them part of any group. Otherwise, if we want to put a group for that, that's fine, we can go ahead and put a group. But from country to country, city from, and city to, date from, date to. So these fields are likely the 1-to-1 6 fields, and let us design like from country details and to country details. Let's put in that way. So in that way, we need two groups. Items, are we going to have a list? Nope, that's fine. We don't have any list in this one. And the label we are going to give is, oh yeah, this is the section. Of course, we need this section. Individual or trip details. Trip full details. Oh, sorry, this is going to be ID, right? Sorry, forgive me. Trip info is the ID, and label I'm going to give as trip full details. This is going to be the collection. And for this one is going to be our field group. This field group ID I'm going to give as from country details, and target qualifier, let's say from country. Parent ID is going to be the trip info, and this position is going to be 5. That's fine. And now the same field group I'm changing is to country details. And qualifier is going to be to country, and this is going to be the from 1 to let's say country info. And the parent ID is going to be country info, and here also the parent ID is going to be country info, and this is going to be the two country details. And now, and what else we have? The travel mode. I am going to create another section for travel mode. So another section means it's going to be another collection. So this one, travel mode, and label, I'll name it as travel mode, and this is going to be the collection. And field group, I'll create a field group for this and label travel mode, and target qualifier is going to be travel mode. Type reference is going to be the field group, and this one, the parent ID is going to be this one. So yeah, that's fine. 15. The next one, what I'm going to give is the local contact details. Okay, local contact and expense. I'm going to create local contact details and expense details. So in this one, let me change this one to local contact, and label is also going to be local contact info, and this is not going to be the line item reference, and this is also going to be the field group reference, and we don't want this target element, and this parent ID is going to be the local contact, and we don't want ID for this one. So purpose standard, yeah, and we need this position. Let's make this position as 10. So I'll tell you why I'm making this 10. And for that one, we need to let me remove that one, and let me create another section for our local contact. So we have given the ID as local contact, and let's give the description as well. Local contact. And now finally we have the expenses, and also the comments. Let me create the section and another section. Expenses is the ID and also the description. So whenever you create the ID sections, it's better to separate or give an identifier for that particular ID expenses, something like that, so that there will be no confusion. And this is the expenses and comment section. I'm giving the name as comments as a section, and also the field group I'm going to create. I need to create how I can expenses and comments we can make together, or that's fine. So how we design is the matter. A label expenses, field group reference, and expenses is the parent ID as well. That's fine. And I am placing this as another field group. Comments as a label, and the parent ID, I will leave this as expenses. And in this one, I'll just change 20. Okay, so now we have prepared or the layouting or field group information, how we wanted to see that on our page, object page, but that's not all done. So here we should come and include the identification information for each of the field and their identifiers, qualifiers. So let me go ahead into the UI annotation dot identification. So in this identification, we should tell the position, which position it is going to be, and also the qualifier. So which field group this particular from country has to be part of. And in the from country, where is that? What is the ID of the field group we have given? From country and to country, and this target qualifier is going to be the from country. Okay, so let me go ahead and give the target qualifier for this one, the from country information. So okay, and also this is same thing for the to country as well. So let me go ahead and give this 20 to country, and now onwards it's going to be very easy for us. 30, CT2 is 40. So if you want to move the to country and CT2, then it's absolutely fine. We can just change these positions. 40, and it's going to be to country is going to be 30, and it's just going to be 20. So we do not need to really physically shift up and down the fields in the CDS itself. So this is what is going to decide how it is going to display on the UI. So now the dates again, from date and to date. So let's say it is going to be the 50, and the position is going to be 60. That's fine. So now we have come to the travel mode. So in the travel mode, let's go ahead and see what information we have. Yeah, the travel mode. Oh, okay. We have the true country information as well. So again, this is going to be the country information, and the target qualifier is going to be to country. So I didn't notice that. And in the to country, we can say this is going to be the true country qualifier, and city2 is going to be again the to country qualifier. So in this case, how the UI5, the template thinks that, okay, so in the to country field group, this is going to be 30 and this is going to be 50. So sorry, 20. To country, this is going to be 30 and this is going to be 20. So city2 is going to be 20. So really we need to choose the country first and then the city2 actually. So in that case, we can absolutely start from 10 again. To country is going to be 10 position and this is going to be 20. So in this case, you shouldn't be thinking that, okay, so I have 10 here, again 10, what is this making difference? The difference is making with the qualifier here. So in the qualifiers, what are the positions you are defining? So if you come across these kind of things, then the difference will be with the qualifier. So similarly, you might see another differences if you see the same information in any of the annotations. They are not particularly same, so there will be some difference if you clearly observe it. So in this case, we have the to country information and from country information separated in this case. So in this from country information, we have 10 here and 40, absolutely fine. So it displays there is nothing in between from country field group, say 20, 30 or not exist. Then it is going to be 40, absolutely after 10, 40 will be displayed. So date from and date to. So let's prepare or put separate field group for that one, from country and to country details and local contact, that's fine. What we'll say, yeah, that is local contact. And in this expenses itself, we combine the comments, but for dates, let us create another section, for example. So in the sections, we have from and to, travel mode. Travel mode is going to be another section, or we can make the same section local contact. Local contact is another section. Expenses, comments, we don't want these many sections, but we put the information in two groups. So one is country information from and to, then the travel mode, and we accommodate the comments in this travel mode itself. Local contact, from and to, and the dates also we include in the country information itself. So from country to country, and we just add the travel dates field group here. Travel dates, and this is going to be under dates is going to be the qualifier, and the country information, that's fine. And this one is going to be 15. So now you will be understanding why we are giving this positioning. So if you see here in the country information itself, okay, so in the country information parent, we have 5, which is this field group. We have 10, okay, which comes immediately after to that one, and now we are increasing it to 15. Okay, so they are all in sequence. And if you want to change this one, you can make this 15 and you can make this 10 if you like to. So that will decide if the positioning of the field group on the UI side. So let me change it back. That is not how I wanted. And travel mode. In the travel mode, yeah, that's fine. This is going to be the field group. That's okay. And the parent ID is going to be the travel mode. That's fine. So, and local contact information. Okay, let us leave that as a separate section. And comments, I want this to be part of the travel mode. So these two I want to be together, and this expenses, let's leave that as a separate one. Do we have expenses? No, we don't have expenses, but we club that along with the travel mode, and not travel mode, the country information. So parent ID is going to be the country information here. So in the country information, I think we already have the block with the 10, and now we are making it as 20 to display as a fourth block. Comments, that's okay. And here we don't have the target identifiers on these sections or field groups that we have added here. Let me add this target qualifier, local contact. Target qualifier is going to be the qualifier local contact, and also for the expenses, target qualifier expenses, and for comments, qualifier comments. So that's all done for us. And now let us come down to the travel mode, and let's look at this identification information. So in this case, this is absolutely going to be 10, and don't remember what is the field group reference for travel mode. Target qualifier is going to be the travel mode. So this is going to be the travel mode, and also I want this to be applicable for my comments here. So comments, and yes, and this is going to be the 20, and we don't have the line item annotations for this one because we don't want that to be part of initial display. That's why we are not displaying there. The total expenses and the currency, and this currency and the total expenses. Let me look at what is the field group that we created for that one. Expenses, the target qualifier is going to be Q expenses. Total expenses is going to be 10, and the currency is going to be 20. So these two field groups are done, and we have left with the local contact information now. So let us go and check what is the local contact qualifier, and this is the local contact qualifier we have. And let me pick this UI identification here, local contact. So okay, and also let me put that one as local address, and it's going to be 20. So okay, I think that's fine for now. Let me activate this one. Getting activated. So perfect. This has been activated, and let me go back, or let me close this one and relaunch the application. Go ahead. And yeah, I think we don't see that because we have applied the default filter here. Or is it IN, or okay, this status is the one stopping us. So I can even pick the same one, and I can go into the edit mode of that one. So it's already in edit mode because that is the draft one. So if I click on create,
So in a header, state is not coming, right, Chinna?
sorry, yeah, so that
In
we have not we haven't included that in the annotations, so that we already saw that. So in our metadata extensions, if you see here, this is the header one, and we don't have any specific group for these states. And also, if you see here, we have not included them in any of the sorry, yeah, state to, state from, to date, from date, these all not part of any of the field group, if you see here. Okay, so that's the reason we are not able to see this information there, and you can try to add this information onto the screen. And if I go here, for some reason I am not able to see this information, but I see the sections. And from and to countries, let me go to my metadata extensions. Country information is the section. Yes, I'm able to see the sections. Parent ID is going to be the country information. From country is my target qualifier. To country is going to be my target qualifier here. So it's going to be 10. Let me sort out from country first. And identification. Okay, so in this case, sorry, so we are missing the field group. So this is where we should be giving the qualifier, not in the identifier. I missed that one. So in the identifier, again, we can have the qualifiers, but that is for different purpose. So in the from country, let me change this one to the from country, and we necessarily need not to give the position at this place, and we just need to tell this under which field group this is going to be. From country, date from, date to, and this is not going to be the dates, and this one is going to be dates. So field group, let me activate this one and see if we have the screen updated. Let me run this one. Let me close this one. Come on. Let it bring the information. So yes, we have this information here, and if you see, so if you see, they are nicely arranged for us. So city, from country, and the from country. So these fields have been arranged in a reverse order, and we can change that one as well if we want to change it. City, from country should be first. And where is this one? Identification, qualifier, from country, and from say city from, yeah, city from. Okay. Come on. This is not necessary, but it is asking in this version. Let's give this one. That is the qualifier, and this is the position of this particular country within the from country qualifier, and this field position is going to be 10, and city from is going to be 20. To country, now we change this one to country, and here trip end date and trip start date. Equals to 20, and position 10, city 2. So it's going to be to country, and the position is going to be 20. We will allow user to select the country first. To country is going to be 10. And yeah, that's okay. And the dates, yes, we have the dates. And travel mode, let us fix this travel mode as well. This is going to be 10, and this one is going to be this one, and the comments. So we have the comments here, and comments is going to be 20 for us. And expenses, the currency is going to be 20, and the price is going to be 10. So if we mismatch with this information, obviously the screen field sequence on the screen will be mismatched. And local address. Okay, local contact. This one is going to be 10. Qualifier. This one. Okay, I think everything is perfect now. Let's see. Let me activate it. Okay, so this is activated. Let me launch this application. Go ahead. Create. And we have not implemented the trip number generation yet. So whereas we will be doing that in the determinations. So from country, I'm just giving as GB, and target country is going to be IN. And now I'm going to create my trip items. And I haven't chosen my dates there. But here, if you see, everything has been arranged in a nice manner here without having any UI code involvement. Okay. Yeah. So now let me. So the input helps and everything not available on this particular one, because the same we have not built on our items. So items, so there is no value help for from country to country or regions, anything here. So if you just go ahead and try to implement them as a value helps here, they automatically come and support the UI in terms of whenever you start typing IN or GB. So for example, I have given GB to IN. So first I'm giving the GB, and let's say I don't know the city code for this one. I'm just saying LO London, for example. Two country details, let's say DE, and city2 is going to be and date, trip start date is going to be today, and tomorrow is going to be that one. And I can give this currencies expenses like 400 GBP. So sorry, yeah. So as we have given, so this is the field that have been added part of this annotation that we have written here. So semantics dot amount dot currency code. So we have said it's a currency. So that is why next to the amount there is a reference field that has been added. So we can ignore this currency field displaying to the user. So we can straight away go to our metadata extensions, and we can write currency. The currency, we know the annotation dot UI dot hidden true. That's the annotation is going to impact the UI, hide the field from the UI. So that's fine. And now I'm going to choose my travel mode, and in this case the travel mode is going to be again a fixed value help. So if you could have seen, I have created the domain level values, but for this one we are going to explore a different way of doing it in S4, how we do it. And in the comments I would say first, like local contact. So I can specify some local contact, no contact, no address. So if you could have observed, there was, yeah, draft saved was displaying all the time, and also there is no save button here because this is the dependent on header. There will not be save, there will be only apply here. So if you apply this one, it's straight away gonna come back and display in this particular header page. And whenever you save this one, and if you see draft has been saved in the backend, you as an assign take it as an assignment, and you can go ahead and check the draft tables created for this one, and also the active tables, active persistence. Until you click on the save, the data will not be transferred to the active persistent tables. And it is now unlimited. You can keep creating the entries here. You can go ahead and create another item on this particular one. It internally it's gonna deal with the GUIDs that we have specified as keys. And if you see here on top, we have the hyperlink and displaying the ID here. So this is the one we said it's going to be the trip ID, as we have not generated trip ID yet. So that's the reason it's just displaying as a blank value here. So I'll just come out of this one. So I'll not type anything. And also whatever you feel uncomfortable entries, that you can choose, and you can delete those entries. They are deleted from the draft itself. So they are not going to be committed to the database as an active entry. So now let me save this one. So perfect, object have been saved, and now this has been published as an active entity. Okay, so everybody can see this entry right now in on loading itself. So the status is unknown for now, and if I remove this status, I would be able to see, because the from country is GB for this entry, and that's perfect. And these are all the fields. We have not provided the input provisioning on our metadata extension. That's the reason they are not being showed up on the initial screen. And now let us go ahead into the business object here. And in the business object, we know that how we create the determinations. And let me create new determination here, and let's say generate. And okay, so as we are dealing with the multiple business objects, we should be mindful that on which business object we are on at the moment, and where we are creating the determination. So this determination that we are creating on header, not on the item. So if you remember, we need to create the determination on the item as well. Okay, because we need to generate the item number. So if you are dealing with the GUIDs, then it is not necessary to have the number object, whereas we thought of creating the unique references for trip and trip items. But in this case, the framework itself is providing us GUIDs. So if there is unless there is a specific reason to generate the new trip IDs and items, then that's fine. So no, it's not going to stop anyway. So let me create new new determination, generate trip ID, trip ID, and in this case, as we have already the determination class, I'm going to use the same determination class. So we can use that. The modify fields header. This may be the one. I think. Let me check. Yes, this is the one. We are creating the trip ID. Let me copy this class and go into this one and assign this class. So the modify fields and react after modification. Yes, this is what we need to we wanted to do. Yes, business object is the determination has been added, and we need to ensure we are updating the right fields. So here the trip ID is the field name that should be matching to the properties trip ID of the business object. So if you see in this case, we see many fields have been made read-only and mandatory and etc. Okay, so in this list, trip ID, yes, it's matching. That's perfect. So rest all think they are fine. The trip status state to where is this? Yeah, trip status. This field is also same, and now I don't need to worry much. So let's go ahead and activate this one. So let me go back to my application and let me rerun this one. It is activated, I think. Yeah. So launch the application and try. If we try to create it, then it's going to generate the ID for us. So if I try to create this one, some error. What is the dump occurred here? What is this one? Set application error is short dump. Come on. Okay, that's fine. Let me. Okay. So this might be the issue, I think. So the structure, whatever we are using here, might be the issue, I'm guessing. Let me change this structure to the table type that we see in our business object. Let me go here and determinations. Persistence structure, or let us first see. Okay, so ET data, LT data, data return structure. This can be combined table type. Can be this one. Let us see the combined table type. Where are the fields? So it's going to be, yeah, draft right admin. Let me take this one. persistence structure. I think this is the table type we should be taking. Let me activate this one, and also let me put the breakpoint here. And whenever we launch the application and try to create it, so it is just going into the class to generate the trip ID for us. So if you look at this one, and yes, we have this information here. If you see all the GUIDs, the root keys, everything has been created right now. As we are on the root, both this GUID and this GUID both will be same, but whenever we go to the item, it will be different. So yes, it is generated, and assigned, and ls data. Okay. Okay, so if you see, our new trip ID has been generated. So that was the issue. So the taking the table type was the issue. And from country, now we can name it again GB or IN, whatever it is going to be. So in this case, whenever we deal with GUID based implementations, then we must be careful that validating the duplicate entries. So in this case, I have already created my trip from country to country, and we have not added the dates. So even we can consider those dates to check the validations. So now again, I'm creating with the same from and to country details. And again, I'm going ahead and creating the items, the detailed itinerary for me. So let us create it. Come on, come. Why is it taking this much time? Yeah, system itself taking time. Okay. Yeah, so from country, let me put it as GB, and city again, this one. The to country is going to be IN, and city is going to be, let's say, KA. These dates, anything it can be, and the total expenses. Okay, so as we have hidden the currency field, it's completely gone. That's okay. And the travel mode is going to be the air. Okay, so apply. So my itinerary has been created, and here what is this one? This one may be the currency. I will input here. So let us save this one. And now if you see, we have not created the determination for items, and that's the reason the trip item has not been generated here. So in this case, what you do here, so you will be going to this one header and the nodes of this BO, and you will be navigating, press control and click on this business object node, and you will see the implementations or actions, behaviors for your item business object. If you click on determination, again there are a few default determinations available here. So you go ahead and um, uh, create the create the determination or generation of the logic for the trip item generation. Okay, I will leave this for you to do, and that's how we do it. And also I'm just going to implement some of the validation here. So in the validations, I'm going to create new validation, duplicate check, duplicate check. So if you see, we have suggested with some name. Let me go with this one. And once we activate, then only this class will be created in the system and we will be able to edit it. And if you press control and click on this, the target does not exist. It shows this. Don't worry, if you see that message, then don't forget to activate your business object. So once you activate this one, we will have the freedom to write our own logic. So whenever we write these kind of duplicate check kind of validations, we might need to consider the draft and as well as active. So that is the only thing. Otherwise, we can write whatever the code we want to write in the validations. So again, similar to this determinations, we will have the execute method in this class. So if you go into this one, and this is the execute method we have in this particular one, and there will be two. They are for the additional purposes, but this is the execute one is the one which we will be writing our validations here. So if you look at the signature, we have IO read and EO message, both available for our error reporting here, and we can straight away go ahead and use those objects, EO message object and ET failed key exporting table like we did yesterday, and they will be reported as we expect onto the screen. So in this case, let me first get the data. I would like to open the determinations class. I will copy some of the data from there. And now by now you could understand that. So this class, as we have hard coded the data type, the table here, and this cannot be used in any other other application. So you must create your own determination class, and there is a way how you can overcome this one as well. And going forward, so if you try exploring things on this one, you will be able to do that, because this type is available on the BO. business object, we have all the table types, everything is available. That means these types will be coming from the business object. And we have the constants class anyway, and in the constants class we have the GUID created for this business node ID, business object node, and using that GUID you can get the BO reference into your code, and in the BO reference you will have all the generated DDIC names. So in this IO read, if you go ahead and see, get root key. Okay, so this get root key will give you, if you give the IV IV node name, and it will give you the root key information here. Okay, and in the key link, it will be the what is the source key and target key as well. So this IO read will help determining or derive the things dynamically actually. Okay, and yeah, get root key, retrieve. If you look into this retrieve, this is the method we are going to use for retrieving the data that the application has at the moment. And we will, sorry, okay, so this is just a node category, and in the node category you will see what node it is, business object, BO object, things like that. But okay, let me go ahead and use this read, IO read, retrieve. Okay, so okay, and here I would like to mention one more thing as well. On which business node we are at where are we creating this one? Duplicate check, validations, duplicate check. Oh, sorry, we are creating at header level. Is it a header level? Yeah, that's fine. So the header level, it's going to be again the same type, and we will have this LT data into here, and that's fine. The node key, and in IS context, if you see here, we will see the BO key as well. So if you want your business object to be read dynamically, so that you will get all your business object relevant information into the data. Okay, so ELT data. Now we will be applying from ZTH T what is it? Write active persistence and draft persistence. This is the database table where it is going to store the draft information, and we might need to check in the draft and as well as the active table. So right now let's check in the actual table, where from country equals to, okay, so let me write command. Okay, so with select single we won't be able to achieve this one, and for all entries in LT data, where LT data from country and to country equals to LT data to country. And if we want to consider the dates as well, we can consider the dates and created by equals to psi uname. So I am not really looping the data here. So as we will be dealing with only one entry, I'm assuming that there will be always one entry here. So in the app itself, if you see, it's only one entry selection, and we can edit one entry at a time. So you will see multiple instances so as well, but that is a bit different approach. And if so, if the size of us is initial, then I'm thinking the user has already raised a request between these countries, but in general this is not how the decision we will be taking. It is according to the business requirements, right? So the dates and everything has also to be matched. So if the from on the two dates are same, or from date is matching, or some certain criteria. So in this case, what I'm saying, and I am raising a message, evo message. I think we tried adding the message as well in the previous example. Let me copy that one here. So it's the same. So I'll just copy and I will enable this. So notifying, yes, this is what it is, and the context node key. And here I want to get the failed key. That I'll be getting from the LT data. So don't be writing this hard indexes, whereas if the index does not exist, then it's gonna go for runtime errors. Yeah, from country and this LV key, I'm going to use this place. And also the key equals to this one is going to be appended to the ET failed key. What is this? Line number 22. Okay, there is no into class, into table data LT. result. That's okay. So let me activate this one. So okay, and let me say this one duplicate travel. And even if we want to specify, there is already existing request with this particular one, and if we want to, anyway we have got the results into this one, we can pick up that particular trip number, and you can notify the user, look, so this is the trip number you already raised with this criteria, and you can edit that one or something like that. So we can give more information as per our requirements. So let me go ahead and yeah, this one fine. And there is nothing with the strip status. Yes, I think better I'll remove that status filter. Header. Yes, default value. Let me remove this one. Set. Yes, it's activated now. Sorry. Let me rerun. Okay. So go ahead. And yes, I have these two requests that created. And if I try to create between GB and IN, and if I try to save this one, come on. So this is being draft. The request has been generated. So where is this one gone? What is this? The short dump. Raise a short dump. Create exception. Missing something. So yes, we have identified a duplicate, and I think this is the place where it is going into the error. Are we inputting the changed fields? No, we are not making any changes, but instead we are trying to report the message. So the lifetime of the message has to be a lifetime transition, and this is going to be message ID. Where is the severity? And this message. Let me open this one in the separate session. Message, add message. Note, we don't have anything to say the severity of it, but let me input the value of 1 there. One and two are the possible values. 1, 2. Let me input. What is this one? State transition. Let me try saving this one. Come on. Okay. So the reporting message, we will be reporting message in that manner. So we don't want to spend much time on that place actually. So I'll add the logic to make it work. So whenever we report a message, it's straight away gonna stop at this place with a small pop-up. So whereas saying okay, so this is the error happened, and also once the message has been reported, there will be a dialog left side as well. Okay, so apart from this, so we have something, the field field control that we have seen in our business object. In the business object, we have seen in the determinations. In the determinations, we have seen the action and field control class. So in this one, if you go, we don't find anything here. It is again the same template. So if we really want to control the fields here, so then it's going to be possible using this field control determination class. So this is not created by us. So this is created by the framework. This is generated by the framework to let or to set our field control dynamically using this field control class. Then we must be specifying specifying a dedicated annotation value in our consumption view wherever we want this to be controlled, and this has to be specified in the consumption view. So if I go into our consumption view here, what are all the possible values here if we see, and here the straightforward values that we see here, object model dot read only. Right now we are saying yes, it's a read only. Go ahead and make it true. And also from country and to country, we are saying it is read only. And if we want this to be controlled dynamically, then we will be using the keyword external um, external calculation. So in this case, the framework understands, okay, so there is no specific specific value for this annotation, and this will be looking at the result that has been sent by this class. So in this class, how we achieve this is, and we have a helper class available for this one to do that job, and whereas we will be getting the instance as well using the same class. So the class is going to be slash BOPF CL library, and goes with the H. So this is the helper class to set the properties of a business object node. And if you see here, we see the set property class, and this is the class we will be using to set any of the property values in the dynamic field control class. So set attribute mandatory, set attribute read only, set node delete enabled, and these are all the things are possible using using this class. So here if you see where this node delete enable, and this is going to be the button that we see here. So whenever we select this node, automatically this delete is enabled, but this one also can be dynamically controlled using this control class. Okay, so and also if you look at these methods available in this one, so set association enabled. So if we want to control the association as well, then we can control using this field control class in the object node. Set association create enabled, if you see. So what is the association we want to whether we want to set the create enable for association or not. So let us quickly try this one, and for these association create and etc, we don't need to specify this external calculation anywhere, because we are not explicitly uh, saying create association enabled and etc. But if we want to purely handle that create as well, and wherever we have our associations or the annotations mentioned, so here we can say this create enable, rather than true we can mention external calculation in the capital letters, external calculation. Okay. So it straight away goes and checks for the values in the determination field control determination class, and it acts accordingly. So let me activate this one. Oh, okay, that's fine. Yeah. And in this class, what I say, I'll just use this class, and this class can be instantiated within by creating an instance. So in the constructor, we have the key, what is the context, and what is the IO modify. So these two instances we have in our framework. So let me say helper equal to new did I copy this one? H set property. So is context, if you see here, and the property, we know that is ctx is the importing property in this execute method, and at the same time IO modify is the importing property in execute method. So now we have this LO helper instantiated, and in the IO helper now we can call any of the method that we wanted to perform the functionality. So in this case, we will be having the association key here, and the association key again we can refer to the constants class. So if you go into the overview of this one, we have the constants class here. Go here into this one, and SC association. If you see here, SC association, and in the association we have all these associations, and this is the association we wanted to use the th items. Or if you want to pick up the association from header, and in the header we have the items. So this is the association we wanted to control, and this is how we just use our constants class. And here IV key, this key is going to be the, what is this one, whether key of this one is going to be again we need to use the read here. Okay, let me use the read. That's fine. So let us have the let us have the key of this one. And value of what? So whether we want to set the association create enable, is it true or false? So don't enable this one. So this is how we just use this method. In the field control, let me go ahead and activate it. Yes, this is activated, and the other one also activated. And not sure if doing something wrong. but the usage point of view, we just make use of that helper class to perform our job. Let me execute. Go on. Yeah, it's being a bit slow. It's okay. So now we see this one here. Let me pick this draft. I still see this association is being enabled, the create enabled. So as this is the existing one, let me go to create a new request. Oh, come on. This is going to give us an error right now. Okay, that's fine. Try to create again validation. So if you see, there is a message being displayed, reported. If you try to create the association information, okay, so it's not allowing us to go inside itself. So these these buttons, how these buttons are coming, and those buttons are be based on the annotations that we specify at the consumption level layers here. So create enabled, update enabled, and delete enabled. So they are completely based on this one. So if we want to control at this place itself, create enabled or like that, so we can straight away go ahead and implement the logic for this particular business object. Okay, so now we have seen the purpose of the dynamic field control under the determinations, and now we have seen the validations as well. So whereas validations didn't come through the success, but I will make that code correction and I will update you. So the message, EO message instance, whatever we see, that is the only way we report the messages back to the UI. And apart from that, let me check this one. Yeah. Okay. So let us deploy this application onto backend, and we are going to enable some actions on this particular application. And if you see, delete and create are only the actions we see on the toolbar here, and we can create multiple actions on the on our app. So our custom actions as well possible on the application. So how we can do that? So we have already seen the glimpse of that actions. I mean, not in action, but root node. And on the root node, we have actions actions behavior here. So if you click on this action, and we have some predefined actions available here, but along with that, we can go ahead and create our action. Okay, for example, approve. So approve action. So in this case, if you see implementation class, we can see the class has been created here. And also we have an option to choose whether it is applicable to choose multiple instances and go ahead, or single node instance. So this means whenever we click on this one, if you see, create is available by default, but whenever we click on this one, then only the delete will be enabled. So whenever we say this one as static action, and it stays like the create button here, and whenever we say single or multiple instances, so the multiple node instances will provision to choose multiple rows at a time, and then only the button will be launching all of them. But single instance is going to be the one like a delete button here. So whenever we choose particular item line in the table, then only this action will get enabled. So in our case, whenever we want to enable this button, is going to be our single node instance. So better to deal always with the single node instances. Multiple node instances will create a lot of manual handling in the business objects. So if we become familiar handling the single instances, then obviously it's a choice for us to go with the multiple node instances. So let's go with the single instance at the moment. And if we have any specific parameter structure, for example, if we are passing any parameters when we click on this particular action, then of course we can put our parameter structure in this place. Otherwise, it's straight away going to give us the IO read instance, and from there we can get the instance that have been selected in the table here. So let me finish this one, and my action has been added here. So that's fine. So now the class has been generated for us. Once the activation finishes, our class will be generated. And if we come on, if we go into this approve action, the same thing, whatever we have created, these are all the parameters we can see here, right? So if we want something to be exported, and we can specify some type, if we have any specific type, we can specify, or if we want to export on calling this action like any node or etc., we can specify that. But usually using this one will be straightforward. The action usage will be straightforward from this one. So based on the node selection, we will be performing majority of the activities. And if that is not dependent on any node selection, then we will be using this static actions. So I think I don't have any changes, but let me reactivate it. So as I have created the action at my BO, let me try to run my application and see. So basically, you won't be able to see that particular action on your application as soon as we add there, but we need to specify some additional annotations in your metadata extension. So I think this is the items. Let me pick up my header. Yes. So where we will be specifying our actions is at the first element of the annotations that we write is going to be our action place here. Okay, so and this action can be implemented or specified in at the consumption layer as well. So now let me specify here UI dot line item, and in the line item, okay, so we have the line item here already, and let me use this line item. And in the line item we are saying, so this is what my position, that's okay. And now I'm going to come on, comma, shit. And this type, I'm going to specify some different type here. So if you see, we have different kinds of types here. So how this particular field is going to be represented on the UI. So we have many annotations. So this time we are going to use this as for action. So this is what we needed here. And let me select this for action. So in the for action, how we are going to specify this one. Let us do that, and we will be specifying like not annotation. What is this one? BOPF. Oh, come on, I just okay. Let me let me open my URLs. I'm just trying to find, I think I have another version of the URL. The easiest way to go here is ABAP Programming Model for Fiori. So we can go into the develop. Uh, the documentation, we can go into the Fiori elements, list report, general, object page elements, not object page elements, list report elements. And if you see here, the table toolbar we see, and in the table toolbar we have the actions implemented on this one. So if we come down, we will have this sample sample code available. Let me see this one. So this is the local annotation code. We don't have the ABAP CDS annotations. Interesting. Actions in the list report, and this is the one. So ABAP CDS, come on, it's again wrap. We have the wrap coding here. That's not good. Okay, so here is the web programming model for Fiori code here. So if you see here, we have the data action here. A line item data action is going to be not data action. Let me for action. Yes, yeah, that's fine. So for action and data action is the one which we will be using in this case. So if you go ahead and type data action, we get here, and here we specify the BOPF, and after BOPF we just use the name of the action we have specified in our business object. Okay, and okay, and if you look at this one, yeah, that's I think fine. Yes, so let me activate this one. So this is activated. BOPF approved. So let me close this one and run parallelly. Execute. Come on. So I don't see that action. Maybe definitely I'm doing something wrong. or this is not the first element that we have on our structure. It is the GUID. Would that be causing issue? We can use the local annotations as well. Okay. So yeah, that's fine. So this navigation point of view, so we will see this anyway, that will take some time. So navigation point of view, we will be having the instance based custom actions, and also the intent based navigations. The intent based navigations, whenever if we click on something on this table, it should be taking to the next application, next Fiori application. And at the same time, if we click on any, we will be enabling one of the field for navigation. And whenever we click on this particular link, then it should be taking us to the next application. So these two examples we see tomorrow, but for now I'll try to deploy this trip planner application, as we know already how we deploy our applications onto the backend system. And also I will create a target mapping for this application, and I will enable this under the Thara applications for our tomorrow session. So from there we will continue looking at this cross app navigation, which is the intent based navigation, and hence we will look at further concepts available on this BOPF. We are almost there. So this is the final thing we are achieving. So by this we will be able to finish. So thank you for today. I'll deploy this one. Once it is finished, that's it. I'll stop it and I'll register this onto the launchpad for our tomorrow example. Thank you.